Hi, I'm Elizabeth Wilmot and I will be sharing the introduction for my group's article review. We did our article review on Harlow's monkey experiment. The purpose of this study was to show the effects that social isolation has on children. Since it is unethical to use actual children, the experimenters used monkeys instead. They used monkeys that were 3 months old, 6 months old, and 12 months old to do their experiment. The point of this study was to see how monkeys would react in social situations after being isolated for so long.
Three groups of newborn monkeys were isolated in individual chambers, 3 months, 6 months, and 12 months. A control group was kept in partial isolation in individual cages in the laboratory nursery for 6 months, then placed in isolation chamber for another 6 months. The effects of isolation were measured by comparing the social behavior of pairs of isolated monkeys after release from the chamber with a pair of equal-aged monkeys raised in partial isolation. This group of 4 would be tested in the playroom situation. They would spend time in the playroom for 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week for 32 weeks. They were assessed on how they interacted with each other during playtime. Long-term effects were assessed over a 1 to 2 year period after termination of isolation. 2 observers recorded the occurrence of selected individuals' behaviors and social interactions. The effect of isolation on intellectual development has been assessed by means of a comprehensive battery of learning tests, including discriminations, delayed response, and learning set formation.
7 questions that this article addresses is how can research promote children's well-being? According to the research, these monkeys were suffering from maternal deprivation and even more important, had no opportunity to socialize or interact with others. Doing research like this study is needed to help find out how children are able to develop with or without their mothers and their peers, and to see if they can function properly with or without human socialization and home. This study could help the general understanding of child development. Babies placed in the same conditions, such as the monkeys, according to the study, could become fearful or fearless, generally hostile, or without aggression or selectively hostile. This shows that babies can experience same problems and would not be able to adapt to their social interactions amongst others. One way to follow up on this experiment could be to implement technology such as television or iPads in educational games to see that if it would affect the monkeys' social isolations from peers and their mothers, such as could the monkeys be able to interact with others if technology was also implemented in the study and not totally isolated. Some questions that my group has on this study is what did the researchers do with the monkeys after the experiment was done? We read that they were slowly being interacted with other monkeys after the study was completed, but where did this interaction take place? Did they go to a zoo? Did they stay in the lab? And what happened to the monkeys that were 12 months and were isolated longer? Were they able to completely come out of that fear and neglectfulness even after help?
The result of this study shows that the monkeys that were 12 months when they were isolated showed fear and no aggression in their behavior. They also showed negative social behavior. Monkeys that were 6 months old also did the same thing. The only difference is their sexual behavior was different. Monkeys that were 3 months old did not really have an effective fear and were not really shown results. Monkeys that were 3 months old when they were isolated did not really show fear and had the most positive results out of this whole experiment. We can also learn that short periods of isolation do not have a big effect on social isolation. We also learned that after this experiment, the monkeys were moved from isolation and back into their reality of their real world, which is how we learned that the monkeys that were 12 months old had a bigger effect of moving and adapting back to their original world than the monkeys that were 3 months when they were first isolated.